There may not be a lot of banners this year in FGO, but of the few that we do have, there are some absolute bangers. Hello everyone, SoberOni of G&A Reviews here, to rank this year's top 5 FGO banners. 2022 is all about quality over quantity, so hopefully this video will help you plan ahead so that you can get the most quality out of your Saint Quartz as possible. But before we get into the list, let me preface this by saying that this is not a top 5 servant list. The way that I evaluated these banners is based on a quantity and quality approach to these servants on rate up, which includes the 4 stars and the CEs as well. In other words, I am ranking the total value of the banners, not just the rate up SSR. But if you are looking for a list of my top 10 servants releasing next year, I do have that video linked in the description. I also should note that I'll be counting all the banners within a campaign as one entry, since they do often overlap both in terms of time and rate up servants. So for example, even though events like Summer often have 3 different banners, I will be counting it as one entry on this list. And one last disclaimer, but I do want to note that banners have recently been moved and changed around, so the dates and rate ups may not be 100% accurate. However, this is the best info that we have to go on. With that said, if your quartz are burning a hole through your pocket and you just need to know where to spend them, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring my bell so that you can catch all of my FGO videos, guides, and spotlights as they come out, and you can help out the channel. But now, without further ado, on to the list. First off though, I do want to start out with some quick honorable mentions. These are all banners that I think are fantastic and worth considering rolling this year, but just missed the mark compared to my top 5. Except in the case of Oku and CCC, both of which will be releasing in July. For those of you who will remember my top banners video from last year, both of these banners were in my top 5, and to be honest, they are still top 5 material. Oku features 2 of the hands down best DPS servants in the game with Kama and Kiara, as well as a top tier 4-star with Yagyu, while CCC is a treasure trove of rare and limited superstar servants like King Protea and Melt. And the 5-star rate up craft essence on the CCC banner is quite powerful on buster servants as well. If you're new to the game, or if you haven't had a chance to roll the CCC banner before, then I do highly encourage you to do so, since pretty much everything on it is worthwhile. But seeing as how this is the 3rd time this banner has appeared, most players have already rolled it, so I don't want to just keep putting it on the list. And it's the same with Oku. While it is an incredibly strong banner due to Kama and Kiara, I didn't want this year's top 5 list to just be a copy and paste of last year's, so I put them both here instead. Aside from those 2 though, Gouda 5 in October is another strong banner to look forward to, since it not only features a strong 5-star and 4-star combo in Himiko and Hajime, but also a good limited 1-star servant, Nobukatsu, who is basically an exclusive support for Nobu servants. The Requiem collab in May also comes with a good lineup of rate up servants and CEs. Voyager is an excellent pickup if you're in need of a Scotty looper. Kijo is a good self-sufficient Zerker who plays very similarly to Ibaraki, and Mission Start is a great CE for quick and arch servants that also gives them starting NP charge. Finally, and probably most surprisingly, the last honorable mention goes to Summer 5, which releases in August. Summer 5 has arguably the weakest roster of servants in terms of gameplay of all the summer events, which is unfortunate because the summer servants themselves are all 10 out of 10 in terms of character and design. But even if it's not a perfect banner, it is still a summer banner that is filled with very limited servants, some of whom are still standouts, like Summer Kiara, Tomoe, and Murasaki. Moving on to the actual list, at number 5 we have Summer 4. That's right, the Summer Rerun event. This one drops prior to Summer 5 in June, and it's the only repeat banner from last year to make my top 5, and that's for good reason. You see, as good as Oku and CCC are, Summer 4 blows them out of the water for 2 big reasons. Summer Musashi. When used alongside Castoria, who just so happens to release right after this event, Musashi is one of the top farming servants in all of FGO. And it's not just her either. Summer Melt also has a rate up on this banner, and she is also an excellent Castoria looper and farmer. She's also much easier to obtain since she is a 4-star, so if you don't want to go hard for Musashi and you plan on saving some Saint Quartz for Castoria, you can theoretically pick up Melt much easier. In either case though, you'll have a top servant for the Castoria meta. But even outside of Castoria, this summer banner features a rate up for the other king of the FGO meta, Merlin. The CE rate ups aren't half bad either, especially Welcome Bunny, which fittingly works very well with Arch Servants. And if you're a fan of off-meta strats, there is also Ruler Artoria, a stellar crit support with a unique gimmick to shuffle command cards, and she's definitely worth picking up if you plan on getting Himiko. Summer 4 even has good quick representation with Summer Okita, a high damage NP spamming assassin who can wave clear very effectively. Good AoE assassins are very rare in FGO, so she can be a good pickup if you missed out on Grey last year. At number 4, we have a banner that isn't quite as diverse as Summer, but still packs a lot of firepower, Olympus, which comes out in March. If you're on the lookout for high quality knight servants, this is one banner that you don't want to overlook. The rate up selection is small compared to the other featured banners on this list, but Olympus does have the benefit of featuring 2 of 2022's top 10 servants, Dioscuri and Romulus. The twins are phenomenal art sabers with a lot of versatility and firepower, perfectly suited for tough content and soloing, while Romulus is an absolute beast in the Buster meta. Not only can he support the party with powerful crit buffs, but he's also capable of some of the highest AoE damage in his class. And even if you fail to pick up the big man, Canis makes for a good consolation prize, being a solid AoE Buster Lancer herself. So either way, you're likely walking away from this banner with an upgrade at the Lancer position. The 5-star CE, Witchcraft, is also worth a shout out as it boasts pure attack stats, as well as buffs to NP gain, Buster damage, and crit damage, making it the perfect craft essence to pair with either Canis or Romulus. Things are going to get a little spooky with our third spot, because coming in at number 3 is Imaginary Scramble, likely dropping in early November. This pair of banners features a whole host of intergalactic horrors, headlined by none other than Van Gogh. She's a foreigner class servant with the potential to be one of Quick's best crit DPSs. She has a playstyle very similar to Super Orion that relies heavily on buffing her crits non-stop to push out ridiculous damage. But she isn't the only foreigner featured. Both Yang and MHXX have rate ups as well, both of whom are very strong art servants that excel in challenging content. Between Van Gogh, Yang, and MHXX, this banner will likely be your best chance to pick up a foreigner servant, which will help you out a lot for the Lost Belts. But if cosmic horror isn't your thing, there are also some very limited and rare 4-stars on rate up with Summer Fran and Summer Raiko, as well as a solid 5-star Arch Rider in Nemo. This banner even features a rare Imaginary Around rate up, which is still a premier CE for quick DPS servants. So whether you're a fan of foreigners or rare rate ups, you'll likely find a gem in Imaginary Scramble. Now we're entering the big leagues. These next 2 spots feature banners that I believe that everyone should roll on, whether you're a new player or a 5-year vet. At number 2, we have Heian Kyo, aka Lost Belt 5.5, and this set of banners features some of the greatest firepower ever featured in FGO. First, there's a rate up for Ashia Doman, a quick alter ego who does it all. He's a Scotty Looper with an 80% NP charge, a crit DPS with enough buffs to dish out top tier damage, and he can even be a support for chaotic or evil allies. Doman wears a lot of hats, and he can excel at nearly any role that you want to use him for. On the other end of the spectrum, this banner also features a rate up for Ibuki, an AoE Buster servant who's pretty much the saber equivalent of Ishtar. Ibuki packs some of the highest damage among all sabers, and she is easily capable of looping her Noble Phantasm despite being a Buster servant, thanks to her very strong NP charge skill, which makes her a premier wave clearer in Buster teams and an excellent investment for the Vich meta next year. These banners also feature quality at the SR level, with rate ups for Media Lily, who remains one of the best pure healers in all of FGO, and Suna, a 4-star Buster Saber who excels in crit and anti-demonic damage, very similar to Rama. And even the rate up SSRCE, Charm of Love, is a worthwhile pickup as it provides niche support to servants who rely on NP overcharge and debuffing like Kiara. But as incredible as this banner is, I think we all know what the true must-roll banner of this year is. And of course, at number 1, we have FGO's 5th anniversary. As I said in the beginning of this video, Normally, I don't judge an entire banner based on one servant, but if there was ever an exception to that rule, it's this one. If you could only roll for one servant this year, and you had to pass on everything else, it should be Castoria, and nothing else even comes close. She is a game changer for veterans and new players alike because she enables 3-term arts looping teams, perfect stalling teams, and she even buffs single target art servants to deal ridiculously high burst damage. And unlike Scotty, the benefits of Castoria are universal. Many free-to-play servants benefit just as much from her skill set. So Castoria alone makes this banner worth rolling. But on top of her, there is also Da Vinci Lily, another top servant and one who coincidentally works perfectly with Castoria. So if you're really lucky, you can get both and have the best support in the game and one of the best farmers in the game, all from one banner. And those are my thoughts for this year's must-roll banners. Like I said, there aren't all that many banners this year, but hopefully that'll be a blessing in disguise and allow enough time for everyone to save all the same quartz that they need. But let me know which banner you're most looking forward to in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like and subscribe if you really enjoyed the video. Don't forget to follow us over on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party on our Discord, all linked in the description down below. And until next time, this is Sobrioni signing out. Later.